Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Hello, Cindy, Amber, Grace, hello. Raymond, Sally, Jeannie, Louis, good. Nail, Shulene, Ringo, yeah, okay. It's not Nail, but Neil. And Kenny, yeah, very good. Wow, Kevin, welcome to the classroom. I'm very happy you're here. Thank you. Jamie, hello, Jamie. Good. Well, welcome for coming. That's a very good sign. Thank you for doing that. Today's lesson is a good lesson, actually. We're going to be talking about creating a positive language in business and in daily life. It's actually a good lesson, a very interesting lesson, I find, because it brings up points that I haven't thought about before. Right? I haven't thought about this before. But it's actually really good. Sorry, there's a lot of it. Very good points here. So that's good. Now, hello everyone. Rondo, hello. Dennis, hello. So let me introduce myself. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. So my first name is Ben Jair, but you can call me Ben, and I am from Mexico. And so everybody, again, some of you already know me, but please try to participate as much as you can. Try to just keep on participating, okay? That's really important. Just participate. Okay, so to break the ice and get into the frame of mind we need for this lesson, let me ask you a few questions, okay? Everybody tell me, what do you think the lesson will talk about? Hello, Rhonda. So what will the lesson talk about? How to make people think you're positive, respect, okay. How to make people think you are positive, respect, positive words, okay, positive words, choose and use the better words, the choice of words, yes, that's good, okay. The choice of words, use positive language. Okay, positive words, positive language. Alright, very good. You're right. That's what the lesson will be dealing with. Now, the next question is, putting this into a context, everybody tell me, is your work environment positive or negative? Give me 1 second. Meanwhile, you can respond. Is your work environment a positive environment or a negative environment? What do you say? Positive or negative environment in your job? How do you feel? Do you feel it's positive or? Okay, positive environment, positive. Cindy says both. Sometimes it's negative. Okay, Raymond says not always positive. Sally says positive. Neil says it's positive. Amber, positive. Okay, so all of you say positive except for two. Two of you say negative, or both, or not always positive. Okay, very good. So that's something good to think about. I am very happy that you say that it is positive. Most of you said it's positive, so that's great. And well, if it's both or not always positive, that's okay. This lesson will teach us how we can avoid that. How can we prevent, right? How can we prevent our working environment to be a negative one or a not very good one, right? But it's good to analyze it and see, okay, what is my working environment? Now, if your positive environment is negative or if it's positive, tell me, who is responsible for this? Positive, Shulin, Dennis, Amber. So everybody, who's responsible to make the environment positive or negative? Who is the responsible person in this aspect? You, your boss, your workmates, who? Everyone. Okay, the boss said somebody, then others says everyone. The team members, the director and staff, okay, everyone and everyone. Yeah, everyone, right? We can all contribute, although it doesn't depend only on us or only in one person. It's not all the job of your boss. Everyone can contribute and help in this regard, right? And so that's very good, very good. So let's learn what you and I can do. It starts from yourself, exactly. It starts there, right? So let's read and learn what you and I can do if we want to do this. Okay? What can we do if we want a positive environment? Okay? So let's see here. Questions. We have 2 more questions. Everybody tell me, do you think using positive language is important in your native language? Don't think about English anymore for a moment. Think about your native language, which most likely is Chinese. So, is it important to use positive language in your mother tongue? Cindy, Shulin, Amber, Grace says yes, of course. Jeannie, yes. Kevin, yes. Jamie, yes. Sally, yes. Lily, yes. Yes, of course, right? Yeah, that's true. Yes, of course. Kenny, yes. Dennis, you agree. Yeah, exactly. I would say in every language, right? In every language, it doesn't matter if it's your first, your second, or your third language. Still try to be positive, right? Now, everybody, have you ever wondered whether or not you sound respectful or positive enough in a conversation? Do you always pay attention to this, everybody? Tell me. Do you pay attention if you're being respectful or positive in your conversation, or you don't really pay attention to that? Okay, Grace says yes, she pays attention to that. She cares for this. Cindy says not always. I agree with you, Cindy. I try, but I don't always do it. Yeah, very good. Okay, Kevin says yes. Okay. Jamie says, I hope I could do it. I hope I can be that, right? That respectful, right? Raymond, after this session I will pay more attention. Me too. Actually, yes. This session, when I was preparing this session to teach, I was like, wow, this is really, really good. I need to pay more attention to this because, you know, it's very important for me to do it. Dennis says sometimes. Yeah, sometimes as well. It's good. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And so that's very important, right? Very important to pay attention. So again, maybe at the beginning of this lesson, maybe before this lesson, we were not very aware of this, right? Of how our language impacts or how our language influences. But now we will. People of good manners is welcome. Exactly. People of good manners is welcome. They are happy. People like them. They have a good influence. Lots of benefits. Right now, in our introduction to the topic, it reads, language is the single most powerful way to communicate. The single most powerful way to communicate, right? Imagine if we don't have a language. Could we communicate? Maybe yes, but very difficult. Even more, probably no, because in order to communicate, you need to know one language, and I need to know the same language, right? So that we can match. If we don't do it, it's very hard. So it's the most powerful way to communicate orally or in writing. Or with movements too, right? For example, hey, come, right? I don't need to say come. I'll just move my hand like this, right? Or no, move, right? Things like that. But we can communicate. The way you carry yourself, in other words, the way you behave, the way you act, the way you move, or the way you choose your words can critically affect your message, how your message is perceived. Okay? That is very important. So, the way you say your messages, the way you talk, the way you do things it matters a lot on how people receive your message. As we're gonna see later, sometimes we might not want to be negative, but because of how we say it, with our words, with our actions, it can be perceived negative. Okay? So, let's see. Even if you're delivering bad news, creating a positive atmosphere by using language can help. Positive language can help soften the impact. Right? Some people, when they are giving bad news, they don't care. They just say, oh, well, it's bad news, too bad. Right? And then what do? They just say it. You know what? You failed. Ah. Right? Yeah, exactly. So, sometimes if we really care about how people see us and how people feel, we should take care of how we act, what we say and how we say it. Furthermore, without the use of positive language, wasting time on confrontations or conflicts is much more likely, right? So, again, imagine you failed on something and somebody says, you know what? You are just failing this because you are lazy. Oh, wow. What will that do to you? Well, you will reply, and then you will start fighting, and it will be wasting your time, right? So we don't want that. Even if other people are like this, we want to be different, right? And being positive is a good beginning to be different. Okay, as a smile in the power of communication, exactly. A smile can help us, right, to have good communication. Now, everybody, think about yourselves. Think about the way you act and the way you talk and the words you choose. So tell me, how do you think people perceive you? Negative or positive? How do people see you? As a negative person or as a positive person? What do you think? How do people see you there? Positive. Raymond, Amber, positive. Kenny, depending on a different situation. Sally, positive. Lily and Jeannie, positive. Good. So most of you said positive. Are talking. Dennis says not sure. And Kenny says depending. Okay. To me, I'm not sure. I really hope people see me positive. Right? I don't like negative people, and I don't want to be a negative person, right? So, all we can do, exactly, Jamie, now, all we can do now is just be positive. Yes, exactly. Very good. Now, the buzzkill. The buzzkill. Every group has its own naysayer. What is a naysayer? That's an interesting word, actually. It's kind of like a new word, a neologism. Okay? So what is a naysayer? Naysayer means one who frequently engages in excessive complaining. Not just complaining, excessive complaining. Negative banter and or a genuinely poor and downbeat attitude. You know, they're always like, I don't care about that. I don't like that. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's complicated. Oh, that's not gonna work, right? And constantly emphasize the worst of the situation. Right? Oh, you know, this is so bad. We're working too late. Oh, I don't like this. We're not gonna get paid enough time, and so on. Okay? I'll explain buzz in a little bit. Okay, Jamie? So there is a naysayer, right? They're always complaining. You know? Yeah. Okay. Let me see. In this case, buzz means this. A feeling of excitement, energy, and pleasure. So if you feel the buzz, you're like, yeah, this is good. I like it. But the naysayer is the buzz killer. In other words, you can feel excited and very good. You really want an idea. You really want to do something. And then he comes and says, nah, that's too difficult. Not worth the price. And so on, right? So it kills your buzz. It kills your excitement. Okay? So anyway, in every group, in every company, there is a naysayer. And he criticizes ideas and offers all kinds of reasons why something won't work during brainstorming sessions, right? So you have a brainstorm, and they're like, nah, that's not going to work. Nah, that's not a good idea. No, that's not going to work. Right? The typical naysayer never offers any constructive idea or suggestions to things they criticize. Never. They never try to say, okay, you know, let's do this. This is a good idea. Oh, you know, I think we should do that. No. All they do is criticize in a bad way. While criticism might stimulate discussion, criticism is not totally wrong. It creates an environment, a negative environment though. So, you know, criticizing something is not totally wrong, but if you do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, all the time, just criticize, that's not going to work. Okay, that's not going to work. It's going to create a negative environment. And this causes the conversation to be strenuous. What does that mean? You know, it's tired, it's not enjoyable, you don't like it, and sometimes just plain unproductive. You will just be discussing and fighting and arguing, and that's it. You will not do anything productive. Generally, these naysayers haven't learned how to phrase their remarks in a more positive and constructive manners, right? So, first of all, we have to be careful. We are not the naysayer. And second of all, if there is a naysayer, we need to learn what to do about it. So, for example, tell me, everybody, is there a naysayer in your company? What do you say? Is there a naysayer in your company? Yes or no? Yes, yes, yes. Amber, Dennis, Raymond, Kevin, Cindy, Sally, Jeannie, Grace, the circle of negative repeatedly, Kenny, Amber, Yes, there's always one, right? Now, think about this. If so, which you already answered yes, so there's a naysayer, sorry. So then, if so, how do you feel when you're in a conversation with him or her? Imagine you're talking about something, maybe you're even telling them about your life. So then, how do you feel? Not happy, not good. You don't feel well. Uncomfortable. End the conversation. As soon as you can and run away. Yeah. Crazy. Annoyed. Dislike. You will not like it. Dislike. No power. Yeah, there's no energy. You can even feel angry. Yes, Dennis. Exactly. So sometimes, well, maybe we cannot make them change, but we can change ourselves, right? If we don't like something, we just say it. You know what? No, right? So we can change ourselves and not be the naysayer. That's very important. Okay, everybody, tell me, do you have any questions with this lesson? No? None? Good. Now, what is a negative language? Negative language usually has at least one of the following recognizable characteristics. So, you're going to recognize if you are speaking negatively if you use this. Why something can't be done. Okay, you're in a conversation, maybe you're talking about a business, not a business trip, but a company's trip. You know, the company wants to take a break and they want to go to the beach for one weekend, you know, the company. So you're going to find yourself always saying, no, we cannot do that because we have a meeting. No, we cannot do that because we have some so-and-so. Oh, no, we can do that because so-and-so and so. You will be finding yourself saying why something cannot be done, right? It's negative. Maybe you don't want to be negative, you just want to be realistic, but still it's negative, right? What was done wrong? Maybe, maybe you are trying to do something, you're trying to accomplish something, but you can't, right? And so now, okay, what went wrong? You did this, and you did this, and we didn't do this, and so on. Again, thinking about what went wrong instead of what did you do right, and what you can change for the better, right? Not just what's gone wrong. Include negative words and phrases like can't, won't, shouldn't, and even seemingly neutral words and phrases like rather and doesn't matter, right? So if you find yourself using those words, so I think I can, or no, that won't, or that shouldn't, and neither, and you know, all of those. Yeah. Okay. Now, does not stress the possible positive outcomes. You look at a possible situation and you only focus on, if this doesn't work, then we might lose our job. If this doesn't work, then we will not blah, blah, blah. If blah, 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 right? But you never think about, oh, you know, but if it works, then this is what we will get. If it works, then blah, blah, blah. So pay attention to how you talk and what you talk about, which words you use, which topics do you highlight, and they will be telling you if you're positive or negative. In contrast, positive languages or language emphasizes what can be done and provides alternatives and options, right? So you think, okay, we can do this and we can do that. If it doesn't work, okay, then there's this option and then this and then that and so on. Okay, you can just switch around and really have a good impact now. Okay, and you focus on good positive outcomes, and if it works, then we'll get a promotion or we'll get this client or whatever, right? Yeah. So that is negative language. Focusing on the negative, why something cannot be done, and just everything that is wrong, which is contrary to positive. Positive is about options, about alternatives, what you can do, and what good you can receive from doing it. Okay? That is the positive and the negative. Now, why so negative? Studies have shown that negative words are predominant in most languages, right? There are a lot of negative words in languages, especially when the language is written. An average person's vocabulary consists of 50% negative words. So in all your day, all what you talk about, half of that, 50% of it, is negative. Wow. 30% is positive and 20% is neutral words. That's amazing, right? Only 30% of your whole day's conversations and thoughts and written language is positive. All the rest is either neutral or negative. Though the reasons behind such statistics are not obvious, there are experts who claim that since negative words signal threats or danger, people tend to spend more time processing the information. Because of such instinct, negative language is more precise and distinguishing. Therefore, it is sometimes intuitive for us to be negative and not try to be positive, right? So basically mentions that because of our world environment, there's threats, there are dangers, and because negative words resound more than positive words. For example, if somebody tells you, you cannot do that, wow. But if somebody tells you, you can do that, okay, right? Which one has more impact on you? The negative, right? So that's why it is like a normal reaction to just speak negatively, right? Yeah. Predominant. Predominant is to have a lot of something. Yeah, to have a lot of something, right? So negative words are predominant. There's a lot of negative words. Okay, Amber? Okay. Now think about this. 50% negative, 30% positive, 20% neutral. Why do you think humans can be very negative? What is the reason? What is that reason? What do you think? Life is a struggle. Okay. Struggles of life. Failures. Failure. Okay. Stress. The stress of life. Yeah. A stress of life can make us be negative, right? No confidence. Yeah. No confidence. Yes. That's very true. Stress. Problems in life. They are treated negative too often. Okay, so negativity, simple, right? There's one person is negative, and that person makes another person be negative, and then that another one, and another one, and it's just growing, right? It just expands. Exactly. Very good. Too many things need to do. Too many things not finished. Exactly. So you're stressed, right? Oh, I have to do all this. I don't have time. Oh man, it's so hard. I don't like this. Right? And things like that. Very good. Okay. So that is how negative people can be. How negative we can be. Now, to create a positive language, we first need to know what to avoid. Okay? We already mentioned. What is negative language? Well, when you focus on why something cannot be done, what went wrong, and using negative words. Can't, won't, you, shouldn't, and stuff, right? Not, don't, mustn't. And not to look for the positive in something. So that's negative language. But let's be a little bit more specific. How can we avoid speaking negatively? Well, we should avoid suggesting fault. What does that mean, everybody? Suggesting fault. Mistake. Exactly. Very good, Raymond. Yes. Suggesting fault will be emphasize or to emphasize what has been done wrong. Exactly. So when we speak negatively and suggest fault, we are emphasizing what has been done wrong. What phrases are used in this context? You neglected. You failed. You didn't. You shouldn't. Right? And so you're telling the other person what they did wrong. You're suggesting fault. Now, what is that going to be with the other person? Well, it's going to make them feel down, feel negative, feel depressed. They're going to hate you, right? So that's the first thing we should avoid. Don't try to look for fault in other people, right? Even if they are at fault, they already know it more than likely, right? They already know that they are at fault, that they made a big mistake. But you shouldn't emphasize it. There's no need. Now, suggesting falsity. What is that? Suggesting falsity. What does that mean? Suggesting falsity. Do you know the meaning? Not true, a lie. Exactly. Falsity comes from the word false, when something is not true. Okay? So then again, you're suggesting that somebody lied to you, or somebody's not being truthful, somebody's lying. Not honest. They're not being honest with you. So, oh, you claim that you went, but I don't know, right? You're telling me that you went there, but I don't think you went. I don't trust you, right? That's suggesting falsity. Or you argued that you actually did it, but why it didn't happen? Yeah, okay? So that's another thing that we shouldn't use. Why not? How would you feel if somebody tells you that you are lying? Wow, I would feel terrible. You know, you're telling me I'm a liar? You're crazy. I quit, right? I'm out of here. So it can create a very bad working environment as well. And suggesting demand. You must do it. You should do it, right? So in this case, if it's not your position to give orders, you will just be bossing around. And people hate that. If you're the boss, well, there's not much they can do. But if you are not the boss, then they are not gonna like it. And they're gonna tell you, no, I don't like it. You don't tell me anything. And then you fight again. Right? So all these three things, finding falsity, finding fault, and demanding if it's not your job, can create a very negative conflict environment. Positive phrases that sound negative, no doubt. Why does it sound negative? No. Right? We shouldn't use any negative like no or don't or nothing. Try to use words that are completely positive. And another positive expression that could sound negative is of course. Okay? Of course not. You know, things like that. Yeah, try to change that, as we're gonna learn a little bit later. Okay, everybody? Now tell me, which of these phrases do you usually use? Which of the phrases that we have here for negative language? Unfortunately, I usually use you should a lot. That's not good. Yeah, you should, you must, of course not. So you should, you must, of course not, you should, and of course. Yeah, I don't use of course too much, but yeah, exactly. So we can start to think about how to replace those words, how to change them so that we are not considered negative anymore. Okay, that's an important thing. Now let's continue and see an example. There are two paragraphs here. They are both very different. Okay, and so the first example says, we are sorry to inform you that we are unable to process your major declaration application since you failed to provide adequate proof to show that you have satisfied the prerequisites. Please complete all sections of the attached form and resubmit your application. Let's compare with this one. Congratulations on choosing your major. To declare it, we need some additional documents on your completion of the prerequisites. If you can resubmit the attached form with the highlighted areas filled in, we will be able to process your application within this week. We wish you the best in your academic endeavor. Wow, very different, right? One is negative, one is positive. Now, let's try an exercise here. For example, what negative remarks are in this paragraph? Everybody tell me, what negative remarks can you see in the first paragraph here? What is a negative remark here? What do you think? Sorry. We are sorry. Yeah, that's kind of negative. We are unable. Anything else? A negative remark. Failed. You failed. Please complete all sections. Well, the fact that they write all in capital letters is negative, because it is like yelling, please complete all sections. You know, it's too strong. We should never write in capital letters because it is like yelling, like shouting. That's negative. Okay? Exactly. Okay, very good. You have. Okay, now what about this? Can we see any negative remarks here? Congratulations. That's not negative. That's actually positive. Hey, congratulations. Good for you. No. Are there any negative remarks in this paragraph? Nothing.